You are not like most empaths. You have probably known this for a long time. Perhaps you felt it as a child, that quiet sense of being older than your years, carrying a kind of knowing that had no logical explanation. You understood people at a depth they had not yet understood themselves. You felt the weight of unspoken things. You carried wisdom in your body before your mind had words for it. There is a name for what you are, Sophia, from the ancient Greek, meaning wisdom. In Gnostic tradition, and in the depth psychology of Carl Jung, Sophia represents the highest expression of the feminine soul, not feminine as in gender, feminine as in the deep, receptive, knowing principle that lives in certain rare souls regardless of the body they inhabit. The wise one, the ancient one, the soul that arrives in this lifetime already carrying something most people spend their entire lives searching for. You are a Sophia empath, and this is both your greatest gift and the source of your deepest wound, because wisdom does not protect you from longing. Ancient knowing does not make you immune to love, and the very depth that makes you extraordinary also makes you vulnerable in ways that ordinary empaths never have to face. You do not just feel people, you see them, all the way down, past the walls they built, past the stories they tell themselves, past the carefully constructed identity they present to the world. You see the frightened child underneath the defended adult. You see the potential buried beneath the pattern. You see who someone could become if they were brave enough to face themselves honestly. And this is where your warning begins. Carl Jung identified a psychological dynamic he called projection. When we carry an image of something inside us, something we have not yet fully recognized as our own, we cast it outward onto other people. We see it in them before we see it in ourselves. For Sophia empaths, this takes a particular and painful form, because you can genuinely see the depth and potential in another soul. You fall in love with what is real but undeveloped in them. You love the person they have not yet become. You pour your extraordinary wisdom into the project of helping them arrive at themselves, and they take it, gratefully, hungrily, sometimes without even realizing what they are receiving. But here is what Jung understood about this dynamic. You cannot love someone into their own evolution. You can witness it. You can hold space for it. But the moment you make their becoming your purpose, you have abandoned your own. Sophia empaths are the most susceptible souls on earth to this particular sacrifice, because it feels so much like love. It feels like devotion. It feels like your gift being used exactly as it was intended. But underneath the giving, if you are honest with yourself in the quiet hours, there is a grief you have been carrying for a very long time. The grief of not being met. You have given your depth to people who could only receive it, never return it. You have offered your ancient knowing to souls still in the early chapters of their own awakening. You have been the wise one, the steady one, the one who understood everyone else while quietly wondering if anyone would ever understand you. This is the wound of the Sophia empath. Not that you love too much, but that you have been loving in the wrong direction. Outward, always outward, into people who needed your light, but could not generate their own. Jung wrote extensively about what he called the syzygy, the sacred pairing, the union of two souls who have each done the interior work of becoming whole. He believed this was the highest form of human love, not the love of two incomplete people filling each other's gaps, but the love of two sovereign souls choosing each other from a place of fullness rather than need. For a Sophia empath, anything less than this is a slow diminishment. You are not built for surface connection. Your nervous system, your soul, your entire psychological architecture is calibrated for depth. When you spend years in relationships that cannot match your frequency, something in you begins to dim, not dramatically, quietly, the way a fire dims when the oxygen in a room is slowly consumed. You may have felt this dimming, the exhaustion that has no simple explanation, the sense of going through the motions of intimacy while the truest part of you remains untouched, the recurring feeling that you're somehow too much and not enough simultaneously, too intense for people who want things simple, not simple enough for people who want things easy. This is not a flaw in you. This is information. Jung believed that the psyche communicates through exactly this kind of persistent discomfort. The soul that will not quiet down, the longing that will not be satisfied by substitutes, the wisdom that keeps whispering that something essential is still missing. These are not signs that something is wrong with you. They are signs that you have not yet stopped long enough to let what is right for you actually arrive. The ancient love that a Sophia empath is destined for carries a very specific quality. Jung described genuine soul recognition as something that bypasses ordinary psychological processing entirely. It does not feel like the excitement of new attraction. It does not feel like the relief of finally being chosen. It feels like remembering, like a part of you that has been quietly waiting your entire life suddenly recognizes what it has been waiting for. It will meet your wisdom with wisdom of its own, not the performed wisdom of someone who has read the right books, the earned wisdom of someone who has walked through their own darkness and knows the territory firsthand. It will not need you to manage it, fix it, or illuminate what it cannot yet see in itself. It will already be doing its own work, and it will recognize that you are doing yours. It will not be frightened by your depth. It will be drawn to it in the same way you have always been drawn to depth in others. Finally, the current will run in both directions. But here is what Sophia must hear before that love can arrive. You must stop making yourself available to connections that require you to be less than you are. Every time you compress your knowing to fit someone else's comfort, you send a signal to your own soul that your truth is negotiable. It is not. Every time you wait for someone to evolve into the person you already see they could be, you spend another season of your life in a waiting room instead of moving forward on your own sacred path. The ancient love will not find you while you are fully occupied with teaching someone how to love you. It will find you when you have finally decided that you are no longer available for that particular lesson. Jung said that the privilege of a lifetime is becoming who you truly are. For a Sophia empath, that becoming requires one specific act of courage above all others, trusting that your depth is not a burden to be managed, but a frequency to be matched. You are ancient. You are wise. You have carried knowing in your bones that others are only beginning to discover. Stop settling for love that cannot read you. The soul that can is already becoming worthy of you.